Oh, what is going on? What is going on? Are we serious right now? Did the Lakers go out there and beat the New York Knicks? We have a lot of concerns when it comes to this Lakers team. But we always been saying the eye tester. The schedule only gets a lot more difficult for the Los Angeles Lakers. And they did. They went into last night's game without LeBron James. Kind of everyone's been on that narrative that the Lakers look a lot better without LeBron James on the basketball court. Lakers win in a convincingly fashion against the New York Knicks, 110-97. Now, we got some numbers. We got some stats in regards to the duo of Luka and Austin Reeves because we know a lot of you guys have been on that board as far as the Lakers with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves have been better when LeBron James off the basketball court. So we can elaborate more onto that. Of course, talk about last night's game and what I saw. And then, of course, I'm going to read some stuff from you guys on the YouTube chat. And guess what? The Lakers' schedule only gets more difficult. They got the Minnesota Timberwolves tomorrow, the Chicago Bulls, who cares? And then followed up with the Denver Nuggets. And then guess what? Back to back with the Houston Rockets. It's only going to get difficult. But this is the right time for the Lakers to see if they can climb up to the highest seed possible. And yeah, your boy cut his hair. That's right. Your boy cut his hair. But let's talk about my friends at Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino, the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. So, in a game where everyone was looking to see what will Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves look like with LeBron James off the basketball floor. Okay. The New York Knicks, the team that came in, they were 41-23. A New York Knicks team who already beat the Lakers in Madison Square Garden. Coming into the game, the Lakers are rolling off of a win against the Indiana Pacers, and we always been having that narrative because guess what? When the Lakers beat the Kings, when they beat the Warriors, when they beat the Pelicans, we're like, okay, but where's the true test? Because when they rolled into Denver, what happened? They ended up losing to the Denver Nuggets, who were without two of their main guys. But this was not the case against the New York Knicks because the New York Knicks were healthy. They had their guys playing. They had OG Anunoby playing. They had Karl Anthony Towns playing. They had Jalen Brunson playing. They had Mikal Bridges playing. They had their guys playing. Josh Hart was playing. So you go in, and you know the physicality that the Knicks brings. The Knicks are a real physical team. And you know, I would have to say, because there hasn't been that much positivity on Lakers Talk Daily. But I have to give credit where credit is due. The Lakers matched that intensity. The Lakers are able to match the physicality. And they were able to do it for 48 minutes. Now, let's read into some numbers, though, because the New York Knicks shot the ball terribly. And I know everyone was saying that did the Lakers really win that game or did the Knicks lose that game because of the way that they shot? Now, for those of you who are saying that and are going with that approach, let me tell you something. The Lakers did not shoot the ball that well either. The Lakers shot 43% from the field. They shot 34% from three. Now, credit where credit is due as far as what the Lakers were able to do. The spacing looked really good. Luka and Austin Reeves are able to play off of each other really, really well. And I'm not going to knock LeBron James. This is not what we're going to do. Because once again, I'm going to bring those numbers up for you guys to get a full understanding into why the 9-2 record where Luka and Austin Reeves is good. But there's also some truth into that 9-2 record. But the offense looked good. They're moving without the basketball. They're able to go downhill. They're able to force the Knicks turnovers. The Knicks turned the ball over 18 times. Let me make sure I got that fact right. Yes, the Knicks turned the ball over 18 times. And you look into that first half and what the Lakers were able to do. It was a back and forth game. Back and forth. And you've seen what Luka Doncic was able to do. He did not have a great shooting performance as well. He shot 5 of 16 from three. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. 16 threes from Luka Doncic when you are able to get to your spots. I like it when Luka Doncic kind of falls back into the three. I like it when he's getting to the basket. Hell, he shot 10 free throws. Why not keep on being aggressive and getting to the basket? Okay. He shot 11 or 25, not that efficient from the floor. Okay. Austin Reeves, 25, 8 of 16 shooting. Remember, Luka Doncic, when him and Austin Reeves on the basketball court together, Austin Reeves is averaging about 20 to 24 points. Luka Doncic is averaging about 28 to 30 points when those two are on the basketball court without LeBron James. Then we also able to get production from Rui Hachimura. He shot the three ball okay, but he was able to hit some good, some big time shots. Bench came in. Jackson Hayes provided necessary minutes, energy, and effort. Luke Kennard, once again, the Lakers are trying to find a rhythm and trying to find him and how can he be established in this offense. I love what he's able to do off the ball. I also love what he's able to do with the ball in his hands. He makes really good decisions getting into the lane, being able to kick out. He creates a whole different dynamic for this Lakers offense because teams have to respect him. Teams have to close out. And that also opens up the driving lanes for who? Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Now, the reason why I am not opposed to Luka and Austin Reeves on the basketball courts together without LeBron James, because you do see a little bit of a difference as far as the spacing. Okay? You do see a little bit of them being able to play off for each other. Austin Reeves starting to get his bread and butter, starting to get to the cup. All right? If that's not working, because what the Knicks did last time, and I do recall Austin Reeves not being in that game, the Knicks were able to double Luka Doncic. Okay? And Luka Doncic was forced to kick out to who? Marcus Smart. Who, Marcus Smart? I love the energy and effort that he's been providing. I really, really do. But Marcus Smart has got to find a way to knock down the open shot. 1 of 10 and 0 of 5 from 3. All right? But this is why the Knicks were able to get away with that at home. All right? Because the Lakers did a good job defensively, contesting without fouling, clogging up the driving lanes. Jalen Brunson, he was having a rough game, especially in that fourth quarter specifically. The driving lanes weren't there for him. Lakers did a good job because there was a moment where in that fourth quarter, literally, the Knicks had their chances to chip away. They really, really did. A couple wide open missed looks that they had. However, the Lakers seem to have the same defensive intensity throughout the whole entire game. It's good. It is good to see it. And I see Peter in the YouTube chat. What up, D? AR had one good scoring game yesterday, which he looked good, but I'm not giving him $45 million per year. Playoffs will tell me everything I need to know about AR and his contract. Peter, I'm with you as far as Austin Reeves, because when it came to him in the playoffs last season, and it came to him being in that moment where he gets the Minnesota Timberwolves, where the spotlight was on, and it needs you to be that secondary option, to be that scorer. He wasn't there. He did not show up in the playoffs. Now, a good thing is, with this Lakers team and seeing how they are and seeing what they can do, this is going to be another sample size and another eye tester to see if this duo between Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves is something that you want to build on heading into the offseason. Now, I'm going to save that for the second half of this episode. I want to focus my energy and attention on last night's game, because that was a statement win, and they haven't had one like that in a very, very long time, especially against a team that's above 500. All right? And throughout that game, missed shots on both ends of the basketball floor. Very, very slow basketball game. But got to give credit where credit is due. When the Lakers hold the Knicks under 100 points, they held them to 97 points. That is a testament to their defense. Jared Vanderbilt being able to get into the rotation, getting into the Knicks. All right? I know he's been on some DMPs lately due to the rotation and what J.J. Redick is trying to do. I understand DeAndre Ayton, once again, he has his moments. But it's not enough. It's not sustainable. And that's the thing that's going to worry me when it comes to playoffs, because in a 7-game scenario, in a 7-game series, okay, but when teams are able to make adjustments after adjustments, and the Lakers have a lot of flaws, especially on that end of the basketball court, who can they actually rely on coming from their secondary unit? All right? When Luka Doncic and the offense isn't going, when Austin Reeves and his offense isn't going, who can you actually rely on from this Lakers team in a playoff scenario? They're able to get away with it last night. Okay. And again, got to give credit to the defense because I thought the Lakers actually played really, really good defense. I thought the zone was in their favor. I thought they rotated correctly. I thought they did a good job of limiting the Knicks in the second half. First half, the Knicks were able to get a lot of offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities. But I thought in the second half, I thought the Lakers did a great job of limiting that. They played a good game, and it showed. All right, when you're able to defend and you're able to exert a lot of energy on the end of the floor, and you don't have your energy shifted towards what? Outscoring opponents, having that mindset. When you actually are able to collect defensive stop after defensive stop, which were they able to do in that last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, it's a good thing. Good things could happen potentially. Look what they're able to do to Jalen Brunson. When the Knicks were trying to chip away, they got it close to probably, 9? Jalen Brunson was trying to get to the driving lanes. Lakers did a good job of clogging up the paint, forcing him to try to kick out or take a tough jump shot. Ball turnover after turnover. Lakers did a good job in that stretch when they were actually knocking down shots on the other end of the court because they bought into that. They bought into their defense. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be sustainable. I'm not saying the Lakers are going to be able to do this on a night in, night out basis. But what has been the narrative this past week is that can the Lakers beat good teams? This is a step towards the right direction. They beat a good New York Knicks team. They did. Now, again, numbers show that both teams struggled shooting. It was a night that the Knicks couldn't get anything going. Credit Lakers. Now is that momentum going to be sustainable? Are they going to be able to carry that over against a Minnesota Timberwolves team who everyone said the Lakers beat the Timberwolves twice? We have to remember that was early on in the season. The Minnesota Timberwolves now are what? And I'm going to save this for tomorrow's episode as far as a deeper dive with the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are now 40-24. They're playing really good basketball. They're able to do some tweaks and some adjustments into their lineup. It's going to be another test. And by the way, that game tomorrow night against Minnesota Timberwolves, do you guys know that it's an 8 o'clock tip-off? Damn. Oh, I mean, these late games, it's killing your boy. Now, I know you guys have been curious about this stat line. And I know everyone throughout social media has been bringing this up, is that the Lakers are 9-2 with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves on the basketball court together without LeBron James. Now I'm going to read you some stuff, and I want you guys to hear me out when I read this. Now I'm bringing some numbers into this. Yes, Luka and Austin Reeves are 9-2 without LeBron James. They're also, but in that 9-2, they were 3-2 against teams at 500. The duo between Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Their 3 wins were against the Knicks, of course, that they just had, against the Heat and the Timberwolves early on in the season. Their losses were to the Thunder and the Warriors. Remember, they played that early in the season. They played the Golden State Warriors and they lost. They are 2-2 against teams that are above 600 and better. Okay. And those other wins that came from that 9-2 were against the Pacers, the Pelicans twice, the Bucks, Hornets, and Grizzlies. Now, I'm going to read that to you one more time so we have a total understanding. Because everyone in that narrative is that they look a lot better without LeBron James on the basketball court, which, is there some truth to that? Yes. Have the Lakers struggled against teams who have been mediocre or, less above them? Yes, they have. They run into some moments where they do struggle against weaker opponents. There are 9-2, the duo Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. They're 3-2 against teams above 500. Those 3 wins were the Knicks, the Heat, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their losses were to the Thunder and Warriors. They're 2-2 against teams above 600, and out of those 9 wins, it was the Pacers, Pelicans twice, Bucks, Hornets, and Grizzlies. Now, you guys, after reading that stat line, how do you guys feel about that? Is that something that's a good sample size? Because the narrative is, yeah, they do. And the ball does move around good. Lakers are able to get out and run. All right. Last night was a good example as far as they were able to lead turnovers into the offense, getting out in transition. It was a good thing to see. But those wins against the Pelicans twice, which I think the last game against the Pelicans when they did have their whole entire group and their core healthy, I thought that was actually a really good win for the Lakers. But the Pacers, okay, they're 15-49. The Bucks, are whatever. They're better with Giannis on the basketball court, but they're in this weird moment. Then the Hornets, who second half are playing a lot better. The Hornets are playing a lot better, but when the Lakers did go up against them, I do believe the Lakers did lose to the Hornets, though. I could be wrong. I think the Lakers split a series against the Hornets. But I think that's with the big three on the basketball court together. And then the Memphis Grizzlies, who have been a disaster this season. They traded away Jaren Jackson Jr. They got John Morant has not seen the basketball court earlier this season. But what do we always say? You take care of those wins. And 9-2 with the duo, it's a good sample size. And that's something that we can lead into as far as the second half of the episode is if we're getting this good product with them too, and everyone's saying that they're better off with LeBron James on the basketball court, is that something the Lakers can actually build on, knowing that this roster is not constructed the right way with Luka Doncic and potentially Austin Reeves returning for the Los Angeles Lakers? Because what would they look like if they did have younger, athletic 3-and-D guys, actual rim protector that's not DeAndre Ayton, guys who actually knock down a three-point ball at a consistent rate, like Luke Kennard? We'll see. And I definitely want to talk about that on the second half of the episode, or I'd have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. The Lakers beat the New York Knicks 110-97. Good win against a team that everyone was worried about, but the energy was shifted into, can the Lakers beat the better opponents? And they did. They took care of business, and they looked pretty good last night. Now, I brought up that tease as far as Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves being on the basketball court together and looking good without LeBron James on it. And honestly, this roster was not constructed the right way to build around Luka Doncic. Still, that's why we always have the energy into the offseason and what they can do, and if they're going to build the right team to build around Luka Doncic. And my thing is, they possibly can. And I know it's going to be a lot into 1 year to try to build a perfect team. Now, if they're having success with the way this roster is, that duo, and you actually have a good sample size, and you're seeing what they're able to do, what if they were to put those right pieces around them? Is that a legit championship contending team when your two main guys are guys that can't defend at a high level? They play in moments. They play in spurts. Austin Reeves is a willing defender, but still gets exposed a lot on the end of the basketball court. Luka Doncic exerts a lot of energy on the offensive end of the floor, and he's a phenomenal generational talent, but he's still not a good defender. When you're two main guys, and you expect a lot out of your leader, and Luka Doncic, and you expect a lot out of Austin Reeves to be that secondary guy, and say if you do have the right 3-and-D guys, for example, you get a Peyton Watson type guy, you get a Tari Eason type guy, and you get a rim protector in, I'm just throwing names out there, in a Daniel Gafford and a lob threat like him. Because with Luka Doncic and Jackson Hayes on the basketball court together, Jackson Hayes is always in the right spot. I can't count on DeAndre Ayton. Once again, his stat line. And it's just he only played 20 minutes. I know he's coming back from knee soreness. I understand he's trying to get a rhythm back. 6 points, and he only shot the ball 4 times and 8 rebounds. It's not enough. It's not enough. And you got to make sure you have those right pieces around those type of guys. Now, you see with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, okay? I do believe it's a chance that they could look good together on the basketball court. I do believe that Rob Pelinka is going to be busy going into this offseason and try to build the right team possible. The only thing that worries me is Luka Doncic ever going to get better on that end of the floor? Because he's going to get picked on a lot. And we're going to see it come playoff times. Those are going to be the two main guys that teams are going to go after in a 7-game scenario. 7-game scenario, we've seen it with Austin Reeves, and Peter brought it up in the YouTube chat, is that we can't really count on Austin Reeves because we got that true test of him in the playoffs last year against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That could be the same thing going in. So you can add in all the 3-and-D guys. You can try to hide Luka Doncic because they were able to do that with the Dallas Mavericks. But you can't do that with this Lakers team. You can't hide Luka. You can't hide AR. And you got LeBron James at the age of 41. He gets lost at times. He gets caught ball watching. This Lakers team is going to run into a lot of problems, I still believe, going into the postseason. Now, can they, if they have moments like that where they can take advantage of another team's poor shooting performance and capitalize on that, then that's something different. The Lakers have a chance to actually get the 3 seed. And I know I'm bouncing all over the place. Just follow me. The Lakers have a chance to go into the top 3 seed. They're currently a game behind the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's why tomorrow's game against the Timberwolves is important. Now, matchup-wise and who the Lakers should want to face, I watched that Houston Rockets game, and I know the San Antonio Spurs have been playing a lot better in the second half of the season. I think the matchup that will be in the Lakers' favor, and I know that the Lakers and the Knicks have good physicality, and the Houston Rockets are a team that's really, real physical as well. I do believe the Lakers should want to match up against the Houston Rockets because I've seen what they were able to do. And I get it. The San Antonio Spurs, they're younger, they're athletic, they're a lot quicker. But Houston has one guy in Kevin Durant. The rest of the guys, they can't really create their own jump shot. Amin Thompson is a guy that can't really get ready to score. He's a willing scorer. He's a guy that does a lot as far as cutting to the basket and utilize athleticism. I think that would be a favorable matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers if they were to match up against Houston Rockets. I'm not saying that they can win that series. I'm not saying they're going to win that series in a 7-game. I said that could be a very favorable matchup for the Lakers. I do believe at this point, if you're the Lakers, you want to avoid the Timberwolves, you want to avoid the Spurs, you want to avoid the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you probably don't want to get matched up with the Denver Nuggets only because of their number and their history with the Los Angeles Lakers. But still, the Lakers have a chance to still climb up into the top 3 seed. And these past couple of weeks, we've been talking about it like the Lakers, have been this god-awful team, when in reality, the record shows that they're 39-25. And I know we're very, very harsh on them. And I know that their losses show more than their wins because their losses tell a lot about their team more than their wins. But the fact, once again, that they're sitting at 39-25 and have a chance to still go into the top 3 seed of the Western Conference, we do have to talk about that more. Now, I'm going to read some stuff into the YouTube chat before I bring one of my guys from the social media room back, bring it back in here. And Black Yoda, what's going on, Black Yoda? He says you can get 3-and-D guys as well as keep Reeves. If you get rid of your second scorer, you will not win a chip. Don't care how many young guys you have. So what if Reeves can't play D? That's not what they need him for. Now, Black Yoda, this is what I'm going to say. All right. You are going to need Austin Reeves to play defense. All right. You're going to need a secondary scorer. Of course, you're right about that. You're going to need someone else that can create the rock and get shots off the dribble and do another thing as far as the spacing, the offensive movement, all those different types of things. But if your main guy can't play defense, that is an issue, and that is a problem. You have to give some effort on the end of the basketball court if you're Luka and Austin Reeves. You have to. You can't have this Ole defense and let guys blow right by you because that creates a lot of problems on the end of the floor. Why? And this is why. And I'm going to break it down to you, Black Yoda, because I hear what you're trying to say. But if someone is blowing by you, do you know what that causes? It causes a scramble situation. In a scramble situation, guys are going to have to help. And then all of a sudden you get kickouts, and then you have to try to rotate out there. And all of a sudden your defense is disrupted. And there's a lot of moments where that can happen for the Lakers. And that is why they dig themselves into a big hole, honestly. So they have to be willing defenders and they have to get more into the end of the basketball court, knowing that they can do a lot of things great offensively. You can put the right 3-and-D guys, the right rim protectors that can help them out on the help side of the defense. But if you can't defend, and we're starting to see it at this level, it makes it difficult to win games. It does. And I hear what you're saying, Black Yoda, but I just had to go out there and throw that out. And by the way, Neil, I do need a fan of this damn room because your boy is getting hot. And appreciate you guys in the YouTube chat. I'm going to bring my guy on. I believe my guy, DFS, Dean Frank Sports, got some stuff to say. Dean, what you got, man? You said you want something to explain to your boy. What you got back there, man?
How's it going, DeAndre? Happy to be on the show. I mean, I got to talk about it. Big win from the Lakers. Statement win against the Knicks. Might have been the biggest win of the season. Obviously, what we got to talk about has been defense all season long. Holding the Knicks to under 100 points, I think, is the name of the game, and I think that's what pushed the Lakers to get the win. There's a lot of more factors, including, starting off more hot. I mean, we go back to that Nuggets game when, they started the game, what was it, 10, 15 points, in the first couple minutes. So they started off hot. They had the lead for most of the game against the Knicks. And, without LeBron, I think it was a big statement win. And of course, down the stretch, we need to see the Lakers beat teams that, are contending, will make a playoff run. So I think this team is pushing in the right momentum. Last month of the season, have won, 5 of the last 6 games. So for me, as a Lakers fan covering this team, it was a statement win, but am I going to overreact too much? Say that, I think the Lakers are going to, push for, outside of the first round. I don't know about that.
So the 5 or 6 wins. I understand some of those wins against the Pelicans, against we named that list already. Like they say, you play who's in front of you. A win is a win. You got to take care of business against the lesser opponents, and they did. Credit to that. But when they do run into teams like a New York Knicks team who they took care of business, they look really, really good. I understand both of them did not shoot the ball well as far as a team. They both shot the ball pretty bad. Lakers are just in their favor because they're able to collect a lot of stops, defensively, and Knicks are able to turn the ball over, especially in that fourth quarter. I go down to that last 6-minute spurt where the Knicks were trying to chip away, but the Lakers seemed to get back on defense, which they struggled to do because earlier in that first half, the Knicks were able to get out and run, and the Lakers were not able to get back on defense because transition defense has been another problem for the Lakers. But it was actually good to see them keep guys in front. We actually see them take a lot more charges. Austin Reeves being in the right spot, Marcus Smart being in the right spot, Luka Doncic even taking a charge.
Even Luka.
Like I said, those things are good. And those things don't show up on the stat sheet, but those things tell me, and it tells us that if you're able to get things like that, then you're actually trending towards the right direction. But the only thing that worries me is that we've seen it last year. And I keep on bringing it last year because that was a younger athletic team. And throughout this playoffs, who are they going to be playing against? Younger athletic teams. They're going to try to pick apart those two. And honestly, with LeBron James, you can't expect him to be your better defender. There's going to be still some holes that they're going to have that might get exploited come playoff time. And we're just going to have to see. But to your point, when the narrative has been you play against a team above 500, you take care of business, and you go out there and win. Now let's see if they can keep on that momentum building towards these next couple of games.
Totally. I mean, we got the T-Wolves on Tuesday. Can we put 2 back-to-back big wins against teams that are contending, teams that, we most likely will match up against in the West, in the playoffs? Of course, it's great to beat the Knicks, but this is a team that, we're not going to see unless they make it to the championship in the playoffs. So we got to beat the teams in the West, and we'll see if LeBron comes back. I think obviously that's going to be a big keynote that if LeBron comes back and the Lakers lose, we know how all these Lakers fans are going to start reacting and saying it's all LeBron, which you can't put all the blame on one person. We know that, but yeah, DeAndre, I think the Lakers have some right momentum right now, so it's fun to watch.
Now, I'm
Especially
asking you.
especially when Luka's putting up these miracle threes. I mean, of course, when they're going down, it's, you can't complain at all.
Now, let me ask you something, DFS. By the way, people in the YouTube chat are saying, is this the new Parker? He said, just like the baby Lakers. Ah.
Oh man, that's some big shoes to fill. Shout out Parker.
Now, let me ask you one thing before we end Lakers Talk Daily, and appreciate you guys tuning in on the YouTube chat. Do you believe that Luka and Austin Reeves are better on the basketball court with LeBron James not on it with them?
That's tough. That's the $1 million question. I mean, it's been interesting that we've seen, like, when two of the duo out of the big trio is playing, they've actually been winning more games. So that's a question. I think, when LeBron is on the court, you can't say the team isn't better. No matter how much people want to say it in the comments and he's aging and whatnot. I mean, he's still an all-star, right? So when the trio is playing, I think this team is at its highest level. So want to see LeBron get back on the court, and I want to figure out how this team can start spacing a little more and get shots for all of them. We don't need LeBron to average 20 points. If he can put up 10, 15, and close to 10 assists, I think that's the perfect role. So I'm not going to hammer just because the Lakers have won 2 games without LeBron that they're better without him.
Okay, now it just worries me. Oh, by the way, NFL free agency is heating up.
It's moving.
It's moving. But Dean, I just get worried with this Lakers defense, man. There's no question that they can score with the best of them, but the zone and trying to switch up things like that, a 7-game series, it really worries me when it gets narrowed down and when it comes to points where it's all about just getting the mismatch and going at those mismatches and exploiting that. That's the only thing that worries me when it comes to this Lakers team, because they have a lot of things that can get exploited on the end of the floor. But once again, when you do have Luka Doncic, you do have LeBron James, championship DNA, you do got Austin Reeves who's playing at an all-star level. Who knows what this Lakers team can do? And the moment of the game is being healthy and staying healthy come playoff time. A lot of other teams have a lot of injuries going into the playoffs. Nuggets are a team to look out for as far as the injuries. I know the Houston Rockets got a couple guys banged up as well. Name of the game is also staying healthy. So we'll see. We shall see. But Dean, as always, appreciate you coming on, man. Got to kind of have you on more on the Lakers Talk Daily.
Let's do it. I'd love to. Appreciate you for having me on. And hopefully the Lakers can put another big win together tomorrow against the Timberwolves.
All right. Now, for you guys in the YouTube chat, thank you so much for always tuning in to Lakers Talk Daily. The Lakers beat the New York Knicks, a team that's above 500, that we always have criticism for the Lakers, that they can beat teams like that. Let's see if they can build that momentum and carry it over to the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that has turned their season around and have been playing better basketball than what the Lakers have faced early on this season. But for myself, got the new look, and you guys in the YouTube chat, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Peace. Have a good rest of your day.